Enter the Spotlight, a series of intimate conversations about life with lymphedema with host Quabila Jones. Join me as I take you on a journey of the highs and lows and the joys and pains of life with lymphedema. For every setback, there were just as many comebacks. I hope you enjoy this journey and learn something along the way. Please subscribe, follow, like, and share the Q Spot podcast on all of the major podcast and social media platforms. And don't forget to be intentional. Young QB here, back with another segment of Into the Spotlight. This is segment number 3. The first two segments highlighted what lymphedema is and how it started for me, which started November 2009. This topic is going to be about the surgery years. This began 2010 and went through 2012. In the course of 2 years, I have 4 surgeries. The growths on my legs just progressively got worse. They wouldn't stop growing. They were hard and they had drainage. And that's a whole nother beast of its own. Oh my gosh. Oh, so here we are. The doctors that I was seeing at the wound care clinic said, okay, this is not getting better. We need to look into some surgical options. That's when he connected me with the plastic surgeon. Unbeknownst to me, the plastic surgeon didn't have a whole lot of experience with his condition. Of course, he was great at his job, the plastic surgery aspect. But when it came to lymphedema and the proper treatment of it, and I will get into that in a moment, which, yeah, it's also frustrating. All right, so I had the first surgery. Didn't know what to expect because of my overall health, the size of my legs, my body. The stitching was not great. He had to use some alternative method to hold my skin together. I have a lot of pictures of what my legs looked like after surgery and going through the healing process. It was not pretty, not in the least bit. I was married at the time and my son was young. Luckily, I had home health nurses coming to help me because it was a lot for them. It was a lot for me. Seeing my skin cut open, seeing the inside of my leg, the drainage, the smells, the everything. Now, the upside of all this, I wasn't in as much pain as I thought I would be. It was some discomfort, don't get me wrong. I had to maneuver a lot differently. I couldn't drive. I had to be careful about going out. Um, it was a lot that changed in my life. I had to sleep on pads, use diapers as wraps, as bandages, as absorbent bandages, adult diapers, that is. It was a whole lot. Home health came every day to cleanse and dress. In between their coming, my husband had to fill in. He was not a happy camper. My room was filled with medical supplies. My life turned upside down, as if it hadn't turned upside down enough with just developing the condition. Having a room full of medical supplies was just, yeah, over the top. And then having a son who was in school who needed me, I was once very active. Life changed drastically, to say the least. Okay, so now I'm getting into how the doctor wasn't very knowledgeable on how to handle lymphedema. He didn't order any compression therapy, which could have really prevented me from being where I am today. But I didn't know much about it because, again, they still weren't calling it lymphedema. It wasn't until several years after surgery that the doctors were like, okay, this is what it is. Not having adequate compression therapy hurt me a whole lot. Compression helps to constrict rather, the lymph vessels. It helps to keep the fluid flowing properly. I didn't get into this and I should have got into this in the first video. So we're going to take a pause right here and talk about the lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system works hand in hand with your circulatory system. So think of The circulatory system pumps the good stuff in and out. The pump stuff in and through your veins, your blood, clean blood, oxygenated blood, all that jazz. Your lymphatic system takes all that stuff that gets filtered out through your liver, kidney, blah, blah, and pushes it out. Well, it's supposed to push it out. Your lymph nodes work as like a filtration system as well. They're literally like little pumps that are just all over your body in different places. They are pulling the bad stuff out and pulling it into your lymphatic system and comes out in various ways. Use your imagination on that. Okay, so what happens with people who have lymphedema is their lymphatic system is not functioning properly. The lymph nodes somewhere have shut down, they don't work. Their body is not filtering out the bad stuff, the toxins, and thus leads to excess fluid buildup because your veins can only take so much. The vessels, rather, can only take so much. So those lymphatic vessels are becoming engorged. Well, the fluid has to go somewhere. It gets drawn into the tissue. Again, it has to go somewhere. Tissue starts to grow and expand outward. There you have the enlarged limbs. There are some people who get lymphedema in their face because you have lymph nodes around your neck. So you may have seen some people with really large chin areas or face, jaw areas or really large neck areas. You have lymph nodes through here, lymph nodes under your arm. So, as I mentioned before, people who have had breast cancer surgery are at very high risk of getting lymphedema. You have lymph nodes down your sides, part of your back, your groin, inner thigh, knee area, and all the way down. There are many websites that shows you where your lymph nodes are at. Taking proper care of your body will help prevent a lot of these things from happening. Not everybody who has damaged lymph nodes gets lymphedema. I was just one of those that drew the short straw. I don't know how it happened. Getting back on track to the story, the surgery years. Ooh, okay. Surgery one, went okay. Again, not a lot of pain, un orthodox stitching methods. Okay, scheduled surgery number two. So basically, he rotated leg one, leg two. That's how it went. Not having compression in between each one really hurt me. I know I've said that before, and I'm going to say it again. Compression, compression, compression. We see a lot of talk about compression with athletes. They wear compression vests and things when they're working out. People with lymphedema need to wear compression 24/7, 365. Extreme heat can affect how your body swells. The cold temperatures can affect you. It's a whole mess. Once your lymphatic system stops working properly, it creates a whole myriad of problems. Yeah, I just have to pause sometimes and just take a deep breath. I know I mentioned in the intro, I've had a lot of setbacks, just as many comebacks, and I'm definitely going to get to that. Things haven't been all bad, but things have been progressively not great. Not great. Due to the excess fluid, due to the excess growth, the excess everything, my mobility has been affected. There were times I was still able to get out and drive and go to stores and do my own shopping and live life seemingly independent, still with some help from others. I'm at the point now, I'm not able to drive. I'm not able to get out and about like I would like to. And I would definitely get more into that. I just want to, again, take you on this chronological journey of my life with lymphedema because I'm not the only one dealing with this. But there's so many people who live in silence, who suffer in silence. And so hopefully my message will help. One, for those who don't know anything about lymphedema, learn a little more. And two, for those who have it, who are afraid to speak up, hopefully they are more encouraged to speak up and speak out and let people know I am here. This is what I have. I'm not just overweight. I'm not just whatever you see, I am not that. This is what I am. This is what's happening to me. This is what happened to me. And sometimes it's hard to be positive. Yes, people see me, Quabila, happy, cheerful, bubbly, hair done, makeup done. I show up. But do you know what it took to show up? That's the thing. If you only knew what it took to show up. I know I just got way off track here. Don't mind me. Okay, so for those that know me, I do not tell stories in linear fashion. So I know I just got way off track. I'm getting back on track. The surgery years. So I'm going to pause it right here before I get too deep into more of the story. And I will bring you another segment soon. I want to say thank you all for joining me on this journey so far. I hope you are inspired to live. I hope you are inspired to educate yourself and advocate for someone you love. I'm going to say that over and over. Educate and advocate because awareness matters. All the hashtags. Yes. Anywho, don't forget to be intentional. See you next time. Thank you for watching the Q Spot podcast video series. Don't forget to join the Q crew so you don't miss a beat. Follow, like, and share on all of my social media platforms as well as the major podcast platforms. Lastly, be intentional with your words, your thoughts, and your actions.